Hello, welcome to the next in the series of review clips designed to assist you with the Biology 3201 Public Examination Review. In this clip, we'll be taking a look at the female menstrual cycle and the hormones attached to female reproduction. Typically, the female menstrual cycle will follow a 28-day cycle that functions in the release of a mature egg for the purpose of fertilization. And while 28 days is typical, this cycle can certainly vary. Anywhere from 20 to 45 days in length is not abnormal. The female menstrual cycle is broken up into a series of stages. The first of these is known as the follicle stage. It takes up the first half of the cycle, approximately days 1 to 14. During the follicle stage, a hormone called FSH, or follicle stimulating hormone, released from the pituitary, triggers the release of the hormone estrogen. Estrogen, in turn, causes the lining of the uterus to build up in the blood supply and to thicken in preparation for a pregnancy. On day 14, the midpoint of the cycle, a hormone called luteinizing hormone is released from the pituitary gland. This triggers the follicle to break open and release the egg. Days 15 to 28 are deemed to be the luteal stage. During the luteal stage, the leftover follicle, which is now called the corpus luteum, releases progesterone. Progesterone keeps the uterine lining prepared for pregnancy. And at the conclusion of the cycle, days 28, day 1 of the next cycle, menstruation will occur. In the absence of fertilization, estrogen and progesterone levels will drop off. This causes the uterine lining to be shed, and it passes out the vagina along with some blood. As this is happening, follicle stimulating hormone FSH will be released, and another follicle will mature in turn. The cycle then repeats. The hormones, in summary, that are involved with female reproduction are as follows. FSH, or follicle stimulating hormone, is released from the pituitary. It's under hypothalamic control, and it causes follicles within the ovary to release estrogen. Estrogen is released from a follicle. This causes the endometrium to thicken and increase blood supply in preparation for pregnancy. Luteinizing hormone, or LH, is a hormone that is released by the pituitary, again under hypothalamic control. It causes ovulation. Ovulation being the release of the egg from the follicle. And progesterone. Progesterone, as a hormone, is created and released from the corpus luteum, and its function is it maintains the uterus during pregnancy. As females get older, there will be a reduction in the amount of estrogen and progesterone that they produce. This is called menopause. Menopause, by definition, is the stopping of the menstrual cycle in women. It is characterized by the following: cessation, stopping of the menstrual cycle, body temperature changes, hot flashes, and a loss of bone density. To treat this, hormone replacement therapy is often used. Hormone replacement therapy is a treatment for women who have entered menopause. It is done to counteract the declining amounts of progesterone and estrogen in females. What happens is estrogen and progesterone are given to women in low amounts as supplements, typically through pill or injection, to alleviate some of the symptoms of menopause. This is not to say there aren't side effects. While there certainly are benefits to hormone replacement therapy, there are certainly risks attached to it as well. The benefits include reduction in bone loss, staving off osteoporosis, a decreased rate of macular degeneration, improved memory, and a decreased chance of urinary infections. However, as mentioned, there are risks. These risks include increased risk of cancer, headaches, blood clots, and stomach upset. And while hormone replacement therapy is given to try and alleviate the symptoms of menopause, other hormone treatments are used as contraceptive methods. In fact, the birth control pill operates in this very fashion. The birth control pill, or an oral contraceptive, is a combination of synthetic portions of estrogen and progesterone. The reason the pill is effective as a means of birth control is because the estrogen and progesterone that are taken inhibits FSH and LH production. In the absence of FSH and LH, ovulation will in turn be inhibited. As a result, no egg will be present that can be fertilized. In past public examinations, questions have arose that deal with this topic. I present the following. Which structure is affected by the secretion of progesterone? A, the oviduct, B, the uterus, C, the ovary, and D, the vagina. You will recall that progesterone is the hormone that maintains the lining of the uterus. The structure that is affected by progesterone then would be B, the uterus. This question asks, which individual is in the follicular stage of the menstrual cycle? During the follicular stage, this is triggered by During the follicular stage, if you recall, FSH triggers the release of estrogen. Estrogen then would be high. Progesterone does not increase until later in the cycle, so progesterone levels will be low. The correct answer then is A, 1. Low progesterone, high estrogen indicates the follicular stage. A constructive response question from previous public examination reads as follows. You're given a graph which shows the normal hormone levels over a female during the 28-day cycle. And you're asked two ways that would cause the changes that you see here, with estrogen and progesterone levels remaining high. With estrogen and progesterone levels remaining high, something must have occurred to cause this to happen. The answer as presented for this was that pregnancy may have caused this to occur, an oral contraceptive, or Depo-Provera. All of those would involve alteration of the hormone levels. 0.5% was awarded for each of the two possible causes, and another 0.5% was awarded for explaining each cause given. Pregnancy would cause their levels to remain high. Oral contraceptives consist of estrogen and progesterone, as do Depo-Provera. The second half of that same question asked to compare the roles of FSH in both men and women. The accepted answer for this is that in females, follicle-stimulating hormone causes follicles to mature an ovum, whereas in males, FSH stimulates sperm production. 0.5% was given for each for male and female. This question asks what can be concluded from the graph below. As you will clearly see in this graph, luteinizing hormone levels have spiked. FSH levels have remained solid. The answer to this question would indeed be C. Ovulation occurs. Elevated luteinizing hormone levels, remember, triggers ovulation. Another constructive response from a past public exam reads, 2 female athletes were administered testosterone to improve athletic performance. One athlete had gone through puberty while the other had not. How would the reproductive system of the 2 athletes be affected differently by the administration of testosterone? The accepted answer was that if the woman had already gone through puberty, the menstrual cycle would be slowed, possibly stopped, possibly altered. If the female athlete had not reached puberty, this would delay, prevent, possibly staying the same. 1 mark was given for each answer. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you found this learning clip helpful.